Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network. The top of the first with Cranston East on defense and Josh Pozo on the mound. One of the many seniors here for the Cranston East Thunderbolts who honored Javen Alexander, Carlos Morejo, Josh Pozo, Armani Pimentel, John Devine, Jaden Tolentino, Erickson Serrano, and Kelvin Santos pregame. First pitch runs a bit inside on Piscopello. He's up 1-0. Dante Piscopello, the leadoff batter for Cranston West. On deck, Ryan Zarella doing the pitching to start things off here for the Falcons as Pozo evens the count 1-1. Another pitch missing low. 2-1 on Piscopello, who's playing left field here tonight. 7 seniors for Cranston West. Three-one count. Pozo falling behind the lefty on the mound, looks in from the stretch. Pozo's 3-1 pitch. Caught the inside corner there. It's a little inside. Evens the count, or gets it to a full count. It's 3-2. Full count pitch swung on and missed. Pozo has a drop third strike to start off the game.
Now batting number 2.
So one away on the drop third strike brings up Ryan Zarella to the plate again. He'll be doing the pitching.
Ryan Zarella. Brendan Smith is on deck.
Zarella once again, a senior batter for Cranston West. Another inside miss for Pozo. Cranston East comes into this game looking forward to their playoff matchup coming up on Tuesday in the quarterfinals of pod number 1 in Division 1. Count even 1-1. Pozo with the 1-1 pitch. Missing outside. 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch swung on. Out from first base. Tolentino with a dive back to first. It won't be in time. The ball comes loose anyways. But Zarella beats it up down the first base line. He has himself an infield single. Ryan Zarella with the hustle play down the line. Brings up Brendan Smith with 1 out and a runner on first base. Top of the first here on senior night. Cranston East taking on Cranston West. Sharing their baseball senior night here at Cranston Stadium as Pozo finds the mark with strike 1. Thank you to everyone here tuned in on the Fans Only Sports Network. Senior night action as the 0-1 pitch just a bit outside, evens the count 1-1 now. 1-1 count. Zarella leads off of first. Dive back from Zarella on the pickoff. Pozo's pitch taken for a ball. The throw down to second on the steal will be too late. He's safe into second base with a stolen bag. Zarella moves up to second base here. Stolen base has a runner in scoring position with the count 1-2. Pitch swung on and missed. Count now 2-2. So it was 2-1 before that swing and a miss. Now 2-2. Runner on second, one out here. Josh Pozo still from the stretch. Delivers, ball fouled back to the backstop. It keeps it. 2-2 count here. Live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Camera won't do any moving here. It's stationary on top of the bleachers here, just outside of the press box. The 2-2. Going off speed and missing high, fills the count 3-2. It's another full count. Struck out Piscopello to start the game on a full count, and now he'll miss high with another off-speed pitch, and first and second now for Cranston West in our first inning. So Brendan Smith takes his walk, and it brings up George Threats to the plate. The right fielder today, with Alex Cesaretti waiting on deck as Threats sees in ball one. If you remember last year when we broadcasted Senior Night Live, it was an exciting one that ended in a walk-off, courtesy of Jaden Tolentino, who drove home the winning run down the third baseline. Hopefully we don't have any of those streaming problems that we had during that broadcast as count moves to 1-2. Knock on wood. Swung on and missed. A strikeout once again for Josh Pozo. 2 outs now in the top of the first inning. Threats goes down swinging, and Alex Cesaretti to the plate. Third baseman here today, as Pozo checks on Ryan Zarella at second before delivering the first pitch and missing high. 1-0, 2 outs in the top of the first. Thank you to everyone here tuned in live, watching the senior night action. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in on demand as well. Pozo's next will be in there for a strike. It's 1-1. 1-1 count. Zarella leads off second with leading off first Brendan Smith after he took a walk on a full count. Pozo off speed, couldn't catch the outside. Looks like he might have wanted it. So it's 2-1. Pozo delivers, and it's swung on to left field, running into the gap. Does he have a beat on it? He does, putting it away for the third out in the inning. Erickson Serrano sends us to the bottom of the first. No damage done in the top half. Falcons Thunderbolts go into the bottom first, score 0-0. Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Falcons Thunderbolts, it's 0-0, no score after 2 runners left on base for Cranston West in the top half of the first inning. Ryan Zarella on the mound for Cranston West, and Kelvin Santos leads off. He'll take a strike to start off the bottom of the first inning. Zarella quickly back at it. Up 0-1, gets a swing and a miss there. 0-2 count now on Kelvin Santos. The leadoff man DHing for starting pitcher Josh Pozo. Take in as Anton goes low to block it. It's 1-2 count now. Kelvin Santos in Cranston High School East's last game, taking on North Kingstown on the 22nd, went 3 for 3 with a walk-off single with the bases loaded to win them that game, securing them the 4 seed in their pod for the playoffs. 2-2 count. Zarella's next, fouled off to the backstop, keeps it even at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, rifled to shortstop, who reaches up and brings it in for the first out of the inning. Cranston West with some hard contact. Stabbed down by Ruben Cortiello. Cook that one. First out of the inning, and the big bat of Morejo up to take the first ball low. Morejo, the Thunderbolt Sports Media 2022-23 Player of the Year, as he takes that outside. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch on Morejo. Grounded in between second and short and third. The throw onto first gets the second out of the inning, putting away Morejo. 2 outs now for Cranston West.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1.
Alex Cesaretti moving over to make that out. Throwing on to first baseman Kennedy Arias. As first pitch swinging and popping it up, Tolentino rounds first as it's brought in at second base for the third out of the inning. And the Thunderbolts go quietly in the bottom half of the first inning. We'll move to the second with the score still 0-0. Falcons Thunderbolts live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back in for the top half of the second inning. Jonathan Anton will lead it off.
Jonathan Anton.
Waiting on deck is Alex DiLorenzo. Pozo still on the mound for Cranston East. His first missing just outside. It's 1-0. Pozo in the first with 2 strikeouts and a fly out to left field to get him out of the inning, stranding 2 runners on first and second. That one gets a little bit away. It's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike. 2-1 now. Swung on, gonna go right to Alexander at second base and easily caught for the first out of the inning. Anton put away on the line out. Now Alex DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo recorded the final out of the first inning on the pop-up from Tolentino. Pozo's next pitch swung on. Morejo fields it at shortstop, throws onto first and gets the out. 2 outs in our second inning. Both teams' offenses flying through their order. Top of the second, 2 outs for Kennedy Arias. Arias sees the first one in with a bright pink bat as Pozo will miss outside with that. Josh Pozo sends one in. It's going to be fouled off and will fall in. No one can reach it.
First baseman number 13, Kennedy Arias.
Two outs as Arias steps back in from the right-hand batter's box. Taking on senior lefty Josh Pozo as that one deflects off the knob of his bat and rolls down the first base line where it will roll foul. And we'll do it again.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2.
Now coming down from third base. Coach wanting to get these umpires together to talk things over just for a second. Both in agreement. Came off the knob of the bat and count stays 1-2. Strike 3 looking on the outside corner, rings up Arias and sends us to the bottom of the second inning, still scoreless here at Cranston Stadium for senior night, here live on the Fans Only Sports Network. it was a 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Cranston East. So 4-5-6 here in the bottom of the second with Tony DeFusco leading it off.
Alexandri is on deck.
Thank you to everyone tuned in live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Happy to bring you baseball action live from Cranston Stadium. Some fireworks last year's affair. Had to run it back for this one as that one nearly ran too far in on DeFusco. It will go in as ball one. Zarella back up on the bump after a 1-2-3 first. Couldn't find it on that one. Missed just outside. It's 2-0. Pretty packed house once again this year for senior night. As that one hits the mark, it's 2-1. Another pitch just missing, and it'll go high. 3-1. DeFusco in control of this at bat here. DeFusco went 2 for 3, a double and an RBI in his last game versus North Kingstown on May 22nd. Count runs full here. A 5-4 win versus North Kingstown as DeFusco sees ball 4. And he'll take a trip to first base. First runner of the day for Cranston East.
Javen Alexandri Erickson Serrano is on deck.
Javen Alexandri up to the dish. Committed to Rhode Island College, where he'll continue his baseball career. DeFusco leads off first as Alexandri takes ball 1. Alexandri playing second base today with Morejo at shortstop, and DeFusco dives back in on the pickoff move from Zarella. First base runner of the game for the Bolts, and they get to see the first pickoff move, as well as our first taste of Zarella pitching from the stretch. Slide step action there gets it to 2-0. The 2-0 pitch headed Alexandri's way. Will miss again. It's 3-0. Just walked DeFusco on a full count. And now Alexandria in total control of this one, up 3-0 on Zarella. Here we go now with the 3-0 pitch. Strike given to Zarella there. It's 3-1. DeFusco leads off first base. As swung on and missed, the count runs full, 3-2. While this senior night action continues over at Cranston Stadium, at Brayton Park Complex, our Cranston East girls softball team starts up their playoff run. They're taking on Davies in a home game as that one runs out of play, keeps the count 3-2. The Cranston East softball has been a big story in Division III as the pickoff sends DeFusco diving back. It's still 3-2 at the plate. They're taking on Davies in the first round of the playoffs. The top team in Division III, they'll hold that home field advantage as another walk issued on a full count by Zarella. And we have runners on first and second for Cranston East with nobody out.
Now batting for Cranston East, number 27, Erickson Serrano. Amani Pimento is on deck.
Erickson Serrano up to the dish. Recorded the out on the fly out from Alex Cesaretti to get Cranston East out of the top of the first, and now we'll take strike 1. As the sun brightens up the day here at Cranston High School East's home Cranston Stadium. You can see the thunderstorm banner covering the left field wall as the 0-1 is half checked and sent out of play foul, and now it's 0-2 on Serrano. The check swing fouled off out of play. Now the 0-2 won't come before a pickoff to second. DeFusco scampers back in safely. So still nobody out. Runners on first and second and 2 strikes at the plate for Serrano. Waiting on deck, Armani Pimentel. Pitch missing outside. 1-2. Zarella sets. And strike 3 called. Sends Serrano packing. It's the first out of the second inning for Cranston East.
Now batting center fielder number 7, Armani Pimentel. Anthony Pimentel is on deck.
Armani Pimentel now celebrating his senior night. Last year he was watching on while also playing in the game as his brother Adrian Pimentel celebrated his senior night, and now waiting on deck after Armani Pimentel, his brother Anthony Pimentel. As the Pimentel family continues to make their way through Cranston East baseball. Adrian in attendance, cheering on his brother. Count now 2-0 on Armani. Armani Pimentel, a big swinger, and saw it there. 2-1 now. If he gets a hold of one, certainly can be a problem for the Falcons as this game scoreless. Runner in scoring position is DeFusco leading off second. Swing and a miss there, and we're back even now, 2-2. One away after Serrano was sat down looking. Anthony Pimentel still waiting on deck. Zarella's 2-2 pitch. Dug up by Anton. Keeping it in front and running the count full, 3-2. So, another full count here in the bottom of the second. Zarella running up the pitch count, if anything, and sending a pickoff move once again. DeFusco's away, and he's back safely. So, after the pickoff, we're back to a full count. Zarella's pitch will be swung on and popped up out to the outfield. Running into the gap, it will get down for Cranston East. Pimentel rounds first, heads to second, and heading home and stumbling. DeFusco will be too late. But he's ruled safe on the play. And it looks like Cranston East just got their first run. The ball beat him there. Anton couldn't get it on before DeFusco snuck in with Cranston East's first run of the game.
Right fielder number 1, Anthony Pimentel. Josh Gillen is on deck.
So that leaves us with a runner on first, or a runner on second and third. Taking a pause here to fix second base after Pimentel went sliding in. And now Anthony Pimentel, the brother of Armani, up to the dish. So first RBI of the game heads Armani Pimentel's way. See the sun shining down here at Cranston Stadium. A beautiful day for the senior night action that was rescheduled from some of the worst weather we've seen here in Cranston in a while. And Pimentel swinging through, even 1-1. Fusco comes all the way around to score after being walked, and Alexandri leads off on third. Zarella missing high, it's 2-1. A couple full counts for Ryan Zarella on the mound in this second inning. Has one away and works on Anthony Pimentel, who fouls it up back this way over our heads. It's going to go 2-2. So it's 2-2 with Pimentel, Anthony Pimentel at the plate. We'll watch another. It's 3-2. Another full count in the second inning here. After DeFusco and Alexandri walked, Pimentel drove the double into the gap to get our first run on the board. All from full count at bats, and now Anthony Pimentel watches the full count pitch, drives it down the left field line, and it will rope foul. Keeps the count full now, 3-2. Pimentel watches ball 4, and that's the third walk of the inning for Zarella. It loads the bases with one out.
Now batting for Cranston East, the catcher, Josh Gillen. John Devine is on deck.
So Anthony Pimentel at first base with Armani Pimentel on second and Javen Alexandri leading off third. Josh Gillen, the catcher, at the plate here with one away as he takes strike one. Thank you to everyone tuned in, watching live or on demand here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Charlie Adams here on the call, bringing you the senior night action between Cranston East and Cranston West. Gillen looks at two straight and now in an 0-2 hole on Zarella, who still working from the stretch with the bases loaded. Misses outside. And, you know, in the first inning, it was 1-2-3 for Zarella, working from the windup. Then after the leadoff walk to DeFusco, has been in the stretch this entire second inning. Seen a little less control out of him. And he could opt to move to the windup now that the bases are loaded, but he hasn't. Still had a pretty quick motion out of the windup, though. The 2-2 from the stretch, swung on and fouled back over the press box out of play. It stays 2-2.
Cranston East, can we get somebody on those foul balls, please?
Two-two pitch, bases loaded as it swung on and missed. Josh Gillen goes down swinging, and the second out of the inning for Cranston West.
Now batting for Cranston East, extra hitter number 6, John Devine. Kelvin Santos is on deck.
John Devine, the extra hitter tonight for Cranston East, taking this at bat, batting out of the 10 hole in a pretty big spot with the bases loaded in the bottom of the second. Devine has been most known for his pitching this season, of course, as he swings and misses on that one. Against North Kingstown on the 22nd, Devine had 6 innings pitched with 2 earned runs and 6 strikeouts, as Cranston East went on to win 5-4 on a walk-off from the man waiting on deck, Kelvin Santos. 1-2 now on Devine. Bases loaded. Bottom of the second inning. Cranston East with one run across so far, looking to do more damage as Zarella looks in on the extra hitter, Devine. And it's a bit of a sword there from Devine that ends the bottom of the second and strands the bases loaded. We'll head to the third inning with Cranston East leading 1-0 here live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network. Cranston East leads 1-0 off of an RBI double from Armani Pimentel in the bottom of the second. Josh Pozo back on the mound, ready to go for the top of the third inning. Charlie Adams here on the call for the Fans Only Sports Network as Pozo's first pitch missing just outside. It's 1-0. Jaden Perez, the extra hitter for Cranston West. Both teams agreed pregame to use an extra hitter.
Cranston West, number 31, Jaden Perez. Ruben Corporad is on deck.
Ruben Corporad waits on deck. Foul ball back, catching the backstop. It's 1-2 now. No outs, top of the third inning. Cranston East leading 1-0 as the slider could not get the zone there. Evens the count 2-2. Pozo's 2-2 pitch right in there. Strike three. Got him looking for the first out of the third. Great pitch from Pozo. Freezing Perez, and it brings up Ruben Corporad.
Dante Piscopello is on deck.
That's the fourth strikeout of the game so far for Josh Pozo. Had a 1-2-3 second inning after leaving 2 on in the first. Shot out to shortstop, and Morejo fields it on a hop, throws to first. 2 quick outs for Cranston East in our top of the third inning.
Now batting left fielder number 1, Dante Piscopello.
Dante Piscopello, as the lineup flips over, will bat here with 2 away in the top of the 3rd inning. Swinging and missing on the first one. That gets away from Gillen. Pozo ahead 0-1. The 0-1 pitch goes bit inside. It's even 1-1. Pozo's 1-1 pitch is swung on and popped up down the right field line. Charging over to get it will be Pimentel, who puts it away for the 3rd out. Cranston West goes quietly after falling down 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. And we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd now with Cranston East still in front. 1-0. Senior night action continues after this. Welcome back into the Fans Only Sports Network, a 1-0 lead. Still in favor of Cranston East as the first pitch in to Kelvin Santos misses inside.
Santos. Carlos Marejo is on deck.
Top of the order, leading off the bottom of the 3rd with Santos swinging through and evening the count at 1-1. Plenty of fans for both Cranston East and Cranston West taking in the action here on a beautiful day at Stebbins Field as strike 2 swinging for Santos. Zarella sends the next one in bouncing, and it's 2-2. Plenty of faculty at Cranston East and Cranston West and other alumni for both schools and fans all alike. As Santos grounds that to Cesaretti, who can't field it cleanly. Behind him, the shortstop with no play throws on to first, but it's too late, and Santos is on with a single to get the bottom of the 3rd underway.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Carlos Marejo.
Ruben Cordereal with the throw on to first after Cesaretti couldn't cleanly get to it. Brings up Marejo with a runner leading off first. First pitch to Marejo will be fouled off down the right field line where it drifts out into the seats. Takes a bounce and heads over the fence out of play. 0-1. If anyone's just joining us, camera not moving here on this broadcast. Solo operation, just me, Charlie Adams here, bringing you the play-by-play as the camera remains stationary on the product on the field as Zarella missing outside with that one. It's 1-1. Santos leads off first base. And with that swing, it goes to 1-2, fouled off out of play. playoff action is what's next for Cranston East. They're gearing up for a match versus the number 5 ranked North Kingstown. They'll host here at Cranston Stadium, sitting as the number 4 team in their pod. Winner takes on the winner of Bishop Hendricken versus Coventry. Coventry earned that spot in a play-in game versus Cranston West yesterday. As the pickoff move gets Santos to dive back safely. Cranston West lost 7-1 yesterday versus Coventry in their preliminary round. Coventry moves on to take on Bishop Hendricken. Full count here. Zarella again right back to the stretch after a runner on to start the frame. He misses outside. Another walk on Zarella's line. It's now first and second. Still nobody out in the bottom of the third.
Now batting for Cranston East, number 24, Jaden Tolentino. Tony DeFusco is on deck.
Looking pretty similar to how the Thunderbolts got rolling in the second inning. First and second with nobody out, and the 3-hole hitter, Tolentino, up to the plate. Takes ball 1. And a pick off to first base, and they're going to call him out. Morejo caught sleeping as he's picked off there for the first out of the inning. Santos remains at second after the pickoff move behind him. So now 1 away and a runner still in scoring position with the count 2-0. Tolentino at the dish. Zarella's 2-0 will miss. It will head to the backstop past Anton. And Santos advancing to third base. He'll hold up there with the count now 3-0. Passed ball for Santos, or excuse me, passed ball for Anton as Santos takes third base. Just 90 feet away with 1 out here. Tolentino just needs to send one out there, and it looked like Zarella didn't even waste his time on that pitch. 4-pitch walk for Tolentino.
Batting third baseman number 8, Tony DeFusco.
Runners on the corner with 1 away.
Is on deck.
Back-to-back walks for Zarella after back-to-back walks in the second. And Coach Bucci of Cranston East likes to get creative on these first and thirds. We'll see what, if anything, Cranston East has in store for the Falcons. With Tolentino leading off first base. Morejo the only out after he was picked off. Tolentino will run and will not receive a throw from Anton. Jogs over to second base. Second and third now, 1 away. Count 1-1. Now 1-2 as DeFusco takes a strike looking. Zarella up 1-2 on DeFusco as he delivers another one. Check swung and ruled a strikeout. 2 outs now for the Falcons in the bottom of the third.
Now batting third baseman number 8.
Alexandri steps in. takes the first pitch.
Jaden Alexandre. Erickson Serrano is on deck.
Cranston West with some action stirring down the sideline, warming up. Two and 0 with 2 away in the bottom of the third inning. And that one caught a corner. It's 2-1. Two-one pitch, missing high. 3-1 now. Has first base available with 2 outs of 3-1 count. Might be a good idea to give him that first base bag and move on to Serrano waiting on deck as Alexandre takes his base on ball 4. Erickson Serrano now coming up with the bases loaded.
Is on deck.
And before we can get a at bat for Serrano, Coach Rob Malo out for Cranston West, and it looks like new pitcher coming on for the Falcons here with the bases loaded in the bottom of the third and 2 outs. Corey Blanchette, the junior.
A round of applause for senior number 2, Ryan Zarella. And now pitching for Cranston West, number 3, Corey Blanchette.
So Serrano now will watch on as Blanchette warms up and will step aside. New pitcher coming in with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs for Cranston East. A big at bat for Serrano when we return. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network with 2 away. Serrano going against the new pitcher for Cranston West, Corey Blanchette, the junior, on here to face Serrano, batting from the left side. Serrano's first pitch swinging. He drives it down the left field line, and it will go out of play for strike one. Serrano in his first at bat struck out looking as the first out of the bottom of the second inning with runners on first and second, and now in a much bigger spot with the bases loaded and 2 away. In the bottom of the third, he'll foul another one back, and he's down 0-2. So Blanchett coming on with 2 outs, and he's quickly up 0-2. Looking to get out of the bases loaded jam. Blanchett's payoff. Got him looking again with the off speed to end the third inning. Stranding the bases loaded. The score remains 1-0 here between the Thunderbolts and the Falcons. We'll be back with more senior night action after this. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network with nobody out in the top of the fourth. It's 1-0. Cranston East leads, and it could be much worse for the Falcons as back-to-back times Cranston West has left the bases loaded, and escaping there with Corey Blanchett coming in to record the final out of the third inning, ending the day for Ryan Zarella on the mound, who's at the plate and leading off the top of the fourth. Zarella went 2 2/3 with 4 Ks and 6 walks, 1 hit and 1 earned run, as Pozo still out there for Cranston East misses high with his first. It's 1-0 against Zarella. Zarella swinging at the next pitch and driving it between short and third for a clean single. He'll stop up there, and the first, or another hit for Zarella after singling in his first at-bat. So Brendan Smith to the plate with Zarella leading off first base. He shows bunt, pulls it back, and ball squeaks away from Gillen just a bit. No advance made from Zarella. It's 0-1. Smith showed bunt, and Rejo playing close as Smith shows again, and Zarella catching himself in between second and first and able to sneak up and steal the base. Ryan Zarella nearly had himself caught up there. But the throw a little late from Gillen. And Zarella able to take the bag there after Smith couldn't get the bunt down. 1-1. Smith no longer shows bunt, but he'll take it For strike two, it's 1-2. Now it's Tolentino who played up on that pitch. Now he'll back it all the way back with 2 strikes. No worrying about the bunt here, and Pozo can't get the strike call. It's even 2-2. Zarella with a big lead off second base as the count runs full now on the inside pitch. 3-2. Waiting on deck is George Threats. Swing and a miss. And Brendan Smith goes down. First out of the inning for Pozo.
Now batting number 10, right fielder George Threats. Alex Cesaretti is on deck.
George Threats up to the plate. Pozo with another strikeout here. Getting into a groove in this top of the 4th inning. Some defensive substitutions for Cranston East that we'll get to you shortly, as the check swing called a strike on the swing. As Threats couldn't hold it back, it's 0-1. Zarella advancing to third base. And a big miss from Pozo, but the dive saves it as Josh Gillen lunging away to reel that one in. Pozo getting the call there. It's 1-2. Runner on third is Zarella. 2 strikes at the plate here, with Pozo looking for back-to-back strikeouts, as that foul ball is lined down the left field line and will fall in. Keeps the count 1-2. George Threats playing right field, batting out of the 4-hole with Alex Cesaretti. Waiting on deck for Cranston West to trail by 1 and have the tying run 90 feet away. Threats will watch it in low, and it's 2-2. Top of the 4th inning. Thank you to everyone tuned in, watching live or on demand here on the Fans Only Sports Network, as Pozo can't get the swing there from Threats. It runs full, 3-2. Pozo with the count full. Runner on third. Well, swung on and missed, or swung on and fouled off out of play. Count stays full, 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch missing outside. We have runners on the corners now for Cranston West with 1 away.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 8, Alex.
And sprinting to second base, Threats catches the Thunderbolts sleeping, and the Falcons have runners in scoring position at second and third. So second and third now with 1 out, as Threats advances on the sleeping Thunderbolts. Brings the infield in for Cranston East. as Pozo misses with that first pitch to Cesaretti. Pozo's next pitch missing high. 2-0 now. Cesaretti with much of the top of Cranston West's order. Or everyone up until the man on deck, Jonathan Anton, a senior here for Cranston West. 3-0 count. First base is available and might be worth using to put the double play back in order, and whether intentional or not, Pozo walks another, and now the double play available for Cranston East. With one out, Coach Bucci will come to the mound here. We'll see if Cranston East makes a change. Bases are loaded with one out. Cranston West is looking to not only tie but take the lead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It looks like Pozo's day will be over, as jogging from center field, Armani Pimento looks like he'll be next up for the Cranston East Thunderbolts on the mound. So Pozo exits, leaves the bases loaded with one out in the top of the fourth inning. So Armani Pimento will be the new pitcher on for Cranston East. He inherits 3 runners. That ends Josh Pozo's day with 3 1/3 logged on the mound. Good amount of strikeouts for him. Stranded some runners in the first inning with 2 strikeouts in the first, and then added on 3 more before his day was done. Finished with 5 strikeouts, but caught the walk bug at the end there. So he'll leave the bases loaded with Jonathan Anton up to bat for Cranston West. Alex DiLorenzo waits on deck. No runners yet for Cranston East, or Cranston West, excuse me. And for Cranston East, they've stranded the bases loaded in the past 2 innings. And it might come back to bite them here as Pimentel continues to warm up on the mound. We can get you these defensive changes now. Carlos Morejo has moved from short to third. And Javen Alexander has moved from second to short. Ethan Torres has entered the game in right field, substituting out Anthony Pimentel. As we're back underway now with one out, showing bunt. And Anton can't get it down. It's fouled off to the backstop, 0-1. Armani Pimentel's 0-1, way outside over the head of everyone, and a run will score. Runners all advancing a base. Cranston West ties the game up at 1-1 in the top of the fourth inning. No chance for Josh Gillen to stop that one. It goes all the way to the backstop, and now runners on second and third.
Alex DiLorenzo is on deck.
And Anton will get first base now, and it will bring up a tough spot for Pimentel.
Number 7, Alex DiLorenzo. Kennedy Arias is on deck.
As Alex DiLorenzo up to the plate after the hit by pitch to Anton. DiLorenzo sends it back to the mound. Pimentel can't field it cleanly. He'll have to just go to first, getting the second out of the inning, but in the process, giving up the lead. It's 2-1. Cranston West out in front.
Now batting for Cranston.
Would have been a tag play at home. Or excuse me, no, it wouldn't. They had the bases loaded once again with Anton getting to first. It would have been a force out at home and a chance to turn two. That out the window after the bobble on the mound. Brings up Kennedy Arias, who finds the gap with that swing. It'll get down, fielded at center field. 2 runners are in, heading to second base. Arias is in standing with a 2 RBI double and opening up the lead for the Falcons.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 31, Jaden Perez.
Arias, the double, drives in 2.
Is on deck.
Pimentel checks on Arias and delivers. The first pitch is going to be popped up into foul ground where Tolentino will range out and put it away and end the top of the 4th inning, but not before Cranston West can take the lead and then some. They lead 4-1 following Arias' 2-run double, and we'll head to the bottom half of the 4th with Cranston East some work to do on offense. Welcome back in for the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 4-1. Cranston West ahead on the Thunderbolts. Armani Pimentel, the new pitcher, will lead things off.
Ethan Torres is on deck.
Pimentel takes ball 1. Next one bouncing in, it's 2-0. Blanchette stranded the bases loaded after entering the game with 2 outs. Struck out Erickson Serrano looking, and now has Armani Pimentel to face. Gets the count 2-1. Pimentel had the RBI double that had Cranston East leading up until just moments ago. And now he'll foul one back up out of play, evening the count 2-2. Two and two on Pimentel. Ethan Torres, newly inserted to the game, waits on deck. Swing and a miss. Anton tags out Pimentel to complete the strikeout, and Blanchette gets his second strikeout in as many batters to start off his day on the mound.
Now batting for Cranston East, number 17, Ethan Torres. Josh Gillen is on deck.
Ethan Torres looks at strike one. Waiting on deck is the catcher, Josh Gillen. As Torres swings at this one, and he'll sky it to the outfield where it's brought in. Right field, George Threats makes the play to bring 2 outs in the inning for Cranston East. Sun setting here at Cranston Stadium. No luck. The throw onto first, completed as Arias makes the play, coming off the base and slapping the tag. And the Cranston West Falcons are flying high after taking the lead in the top. They go and sit down Cranston East 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 4th. We'll head to the 5th inning with Cranston East trailing by 3. It's 4-1 here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back in to the Fans Only Sports Network.
Capello is on deck.
Corey Blanchette will bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Cranston West enjoying a 3-run lead with Pimentel on the mound. Josh Pozo's final line, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 hits, and 3 earned runs. Pimentel quickly from the stretch delivering his next pitch and moving the count 2-0. Swung on and belted to left field. It will fall in for a base hit. And Corey Blanchette, with his first at-bat of the game, singles to left field. Early motion on the base paths for the Falcons.
Now batting number 1, Dante Piscopello. Ryan Zarella is on
Lineup
deck.
flips over and Dante Piscopello up to the dish. Piscopello a strikeout and a flyout on his day so far. He's 0 for 2. First pitch strike from Pimentel with a runner on first. The second pitch is grounded weakly to shortstop. Out of the throw just a bit late, pulling Tolentino off the bag. Alexandri had to range out for it, and it ends up being an infield single for Piscopello, his first hit of the day.
Now batting number 2, Ryan Zarella. Brendan Smith is on deck.
Zarella takes a ball here in his third at-bat. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. He scored in the top of the fourth. Was the first run of the game for Cranston West. And now he takes another one low. It's 2-0. Pimentel's 2-0 pitch is flown out towards the outfield, charging in, sliding for it. It is going to be down and no catch on the play. Long way to run. And as it falls in, another base hit for Ryan Zarella. And it loads up the bases.
Batting number 6, Brendan Smith. George Threats is on deck.
So Brendan Smith now up to the plate. With the bases loaded, he'll take that one inside. Morejo doing the catching for Pimentel. Once again, Pimentel falls behind now, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch again swung on and driven towards the outfield where it's going to get down, and Brendan Smith's going to round first, head to second. Ball fielded by the center fielder, thrown into the cutoff man. It's loose, and diving into third base, Brendan Smith has himself a senior night triple to clear the bases, and Cranston West leads 7-1. It's 7-1 after the bases clearing triple for Brendan Smith.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 10, George Threats.
Looked like he was thinking triple all the way out of the box, and he was helped out a little by somewhat of a poor throw from center field that Eddie McClung couldn't hold on to at the cutoff. Now Pimentel up 0-1. Make that 0-2. Getting started quickly on George Threats, who bats with nobody out and a runner 90 feet away. A 7-1 lead in favor of Cranston West as Threats thought about it but held back. It's 1-2. Seven to 1, Cranston West, as that's driven back to the pitcher. A look from Pimentel towards Brendan Smith before the throw on to first. There's one out in the top of the fifth inning.
Number 8, Alex Cesaretti.
And
Jonathan Inton is on deck.
Brendan Smith will stay put. Brings up Alex Cesaretti. One away. Runner still remaining at third base. It's still Brendan Smith as strike one from Pimentel, attacking early here. Fell behind 2-0 on Zarella and then Brendan Smith, who both made him pay. And now again, he's up 0-2 in back-to-back batters. The 0-2 pitch misses just outside. It's 1-2. Top of the fifth here. Lights turned on at Cranston Stadium as the sun sets on a beautiful Saturday evening. And strike three called Cesaretti goes down looking for the second out of our top of the fifth inning.
Now batting number 23, Jonathan Aiken. Alex DiLorenzo is on deck.
Catcher Jonathan Anton up to the plate. When he batted in the top of the fourth, he was hit by a pitch and quickly got around the bases. It was the first batter that Pimentel faced on his day after inheriting a bases-loaded jam with one out. The 1-0 from Pimentel is swung on and missed. It's 1-1, 2 away now in the top of the fifth inning. Cranston East softball brings home their first playoff win of what hopes to be a deep playoff run for the girls softball program, winning 5-2 over Davies. If you want to keep up with more Cranston East sports results, you can check out Thunderbolt Sports Media at TB Sports Media on Instagram or X, formerly known as Twitter, and keep up with all the sports results and ongoing events and where to watch live. Everything Thunderbolt sports related is there, including Thunderbolt Sports Talk. Swung on and missed, and that will do it for the top of the fifth inning. The full count pitch is struck out. Jonathan Anton takes a seat and will step aside as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning with the score 7-1. Cranston East plenty of work to do, and they're running out of time. Just 3 more at-bats for the Thunderbolts to turn around senior night. We'll be back here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back, where Harrison Fisher's taking at bats where John Devine used to be hitting to start this game. And he'll swing and foul off the first pitch to the backstop. On deck is the leadoff man for Cranston East today, Kelvin Santos. Still working on the mound, Corey Blanchette. Look at everyone tuned in live on the Fans Only Sports Network. Charlie Adams here on the play-by-play, bringing you all the action on senior night between Cranston East and Cranston West, as that one fouled down the third baseline. 0-2. Bottom of the fifth inning, Cranston West added on another 3 more runs, in the fifth inning. Another fouled ball. It's going to stay 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. Grounded to second base. An easy play for the out as Arias passes it around the bases. First out of the bottom of the 5th for Cranston East.
Carlos Marejo is on deck.
Lineup flips over to the DH, Kelvin Santos. Started the game as a DH, I believe. Still out there, although we don't exactly know who's playing center field. It could very well be him. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss there. One out, and Blanchette works efficiently here at Cranston Stadium, but Santos puts a jolt into that one. It's going to go off the wall. It's off the wall, and Santos is going to be stuck with a single. Santos was so ready for that to be a home run that he even carried the bat with him nearly all the way down the line. A spectacular bat flip nearly at first base, and what should be at least a double will be a single that he'll jog all the way to. And now he'll head to second base on the intentional walk handed out to Carlos Marejo. With Cranston West trailing 7-1. An intentional walk for Marejo. Doesn't matter what kind of game is it. It doesn't matter if it counts. Marejo still getting the same treatment he gets in the regular season, and likely the treatment he'll be receiving in the playoffs when Cranston East will take on North Kingstown this Tuesday. And it looks like Tolentino might join Marejo with the intentional walk here. What is the strategy to intentionally walk Marejo and Tolentino? It loads the bases. And now umpires talking with one another. Coach Bucci talking with first base coach Mark, and so this non-league matchup here on senior night, as two intentional walks are handed out. There's one away, and the bases are loaded for Tony DeFusco.
Tony DeFusco. Javen Alexandri is on deck.
There is plenty of ways that this could go spectacularly wrong for Cranston West. Bases are loaded with one out, and Tony DeFusco up at the dish, the 4-hole hitter for Cranston East, with a chance to make this game close again as he swings through the first pitch. Two intentional walks to load the bases here on senior night. Two seniors, Carlos Marejo and Tolentino, getting it to the junior, Tony DeFusco. DeFusco will watch in, strike two, and quickly down 0-2. The Thunderbolts have stranded the bases loaded twice today, in the second and the third inning, as strike three called on the outer half of the plate, and DeFusco not a fan of that call whatsoever. So it's now 2 away for Javen Alexandri. And the bases are loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning as Alexandri swings at the first pitch and fouls it back to the backstop. It's 0-1. This is a rough spot. If Cranston East would strand the bases loaded for the 3rd time today. Alexandria leaves the curveball high, and it counts now 1-1. Alexandria fouls off another. It's 1-2. One and two count, 2 away with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. Alexandria at the dish and ready for the 1-2 pitch. Blanchette delivers a outside pitch that will be called a ball. It's 2-2. Pretty close location to where the umpire just rang up the Fusco looking in the last batter. And now another pitch just missing. Count runs full, 3-2. So it's 7-1. Cranston East with 3 more on the base pass, trying to get this closer as Blanchette will walk home a run here, making it 7-2. Kelvin Santos heads home. And now Morejo advances to 3rd and Tolentino up to 2nd. Alexandria leads off of 1st as Erickson Serrano up to the plate. He struck out looking in his first 2 at-bats today. Or Serrano's out of the game. We got a new hitter up. So Serrano out of the game and Tyler Chisholm up to bat instead. Chisholm, your center fielder now. He's ahead 1-0. Make that 2-0. So Chisholm is your new center fielder here. And he's at the dish here with 2 outs and the bases loaded. He's ahead 2-0 on Blanchette, who's ready to throw on the mound here. The 2-0 pitch is going to be in there. A called strike and makes it 2-1. Blanchette's 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Count even now, 2-2. Chisholm looking to make them pay for intentionally walking Morejo and Tolentino, who are both now in scoring position. Blanchette stranded the bases loaded in a big spot earlier on today, but now a drive out to right field and a dive made that won't be made. The ball rolls to the fence and rounding second, headed to 3rd. All runners will score for Cranston East. Tyler Chisholm dives into 3rd base with a triple. 3 runs in, and this game now 7-5. Tyler Chisholm making them pay. That's exactly what he did. Bases clearing triple. With the bases loaded, it is a 2-run ball game here. Not sure why Coach Rob Mill decided to intentionally walk Morejo and Tolentino, especially on senior night when this game has no implication on any playoff hopes. In fact, Cranston West season's over. They lost in the preliminary round of the playoffs to Coventry 7-1 just yesterday. And now they're out here playing to win this game clearly, and it's not paying off there. It's 7-5, and Armani Pimentel is up to the plate with a runner on third base. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cranston East with a guy who can go yard at the plate. He's the tying run. He takes strike 1 in. You remember, Cranston East gave the Falcons a break to start this inning with 1 out. Kelvin Santos thought he went yard and took a double and turned it into a single right before the Falcons decided to intentionally walk the bases loaded. Now here we are with a 1-1 count on Pimentel. Blanchette's pitch is fouled up, back out of play over our booth here, and we'll head into the tennis courts behind us. It's 1-2. 1-2 with 2 outs here. After 3 runs by Cranston West in the top half of the 5th, Cranston East has answered with 4 of their own. It's a 2-2 count now. Blanchette ready, and his 2-2 pitch is in there. Freezes Pimentel for strike 3. And Cranston East will leave a runner on third, but get 4 to make this game 7-5 as we enter our 6th inning. We'll be back with more action here on Senior Night. You're watching the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network. Top of the 6th inning with the score 7-5. Cranston West leads by 2 after putting up 3 runs in the top of the 5th. Cranston East answers with 4 of their own, in part helped by Coach Rob Malo intentionally walking the number 2 and 3 hole hitters for Cranston East, Carlos Morejo and Jaden Tolentino. Both came on and scored, and now it is a 2-run game with new pitcher on the mound, Javen Alexandri for Cranston East. The first pitch will be taken on the outside half of the plate for a ball. Morejo still catching. As that one runs inside and catches DiLorenzo square in the back. He'll jog off to first base on the hit by pitch. Some flashbacks from last year's fireworks that popped off on the late stages of this senior night matchup between Cranston East and Cranston West. DiLorenzo leads off first as a swing and a foul ball. Gets it 0-1. Kennedy Arias fouls that away, and it's 0-1. Alexandria's 0-1 pitch again fouled up and out of play. Quickly up 0-2 with a runner leading off first base. That's DiLorenzo. Lazy pickoff move from Alexandri. Just checking up on DiLorenzo. Delivering the 0-2 pitch. It caught the corner, and Arias goes down looking for the first out of the top of the 6th inning.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 21, Logan Taylor.
New batter in for Cranston West. Has another check on first base. Does not produce an out. Only been one pickoff today. It was on Carlos Morejo being backpicked when there was nobody even checking on him. Or at least pick off to first when a runner on second. So behind the lead runner. Not often you'll see that. Caught him sleeping and got an out for Cranston West back when they really needed one. And that shot will foul away. Up and out of play. So it's 0-2 with one out in the top of the 6th. Runner leading off first is DiLorenzo after the hit by pitch to start our 6th inning. Alexandri pulls that a little and it goes outside for a ball. 1-2. Get everyone tuned in live or on demand here on the Fans Only Sports Network, and those not tuned in live or on demand are probably here in person. A pretty packed house here on senior night with Cranston East and Cranston West both arriving in droves for this matchup. It's 2-2. Another foul ball that will skate out of play. Alexandri ready to resume the action with a 2-run deficit. He's trying to keep it that way. Off-speed pitch, can't find the zone, not enough break. It runs the count full, 3-2. So the payoff pitch will take a second as the throw over to first. Now back focused on the man at the plate. The 3-2 pitch is driven to second base where it gets just past the reach of Eddie McClung at second, out into the outfield. And the throw back into the infield will head over to third, and runners advance first and second now with one away.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 16, Chris Barbosa.
Chris Barbosa up to the plate now as Cranston West has started to dip into their bench. Alexandri with one out, had 2 strikes early on his last hitter and now gets the first strike on Barbosa. And his second pitch is driven out towards center field, ranging back to get there. He'll let it fall in and now have to pick it up on the bounce. Thrown in to the infield. No one can advance home as stopping up at third is DiLorenzo. So the bases are loaded now with one out as Pimentel couldn't get to that ball. Record the out. Cranston West is right back into a big spot, a good chance to score once again as the base is loaded with one out, and Alexandri will elect to work from the windup now. Piscopello watches strike one in. It's 0-1. Still one away.
Are you working? Oh, all right. So he's still Salamino and Falcone sitting next to each other behind the backstop.
It's 1-1 now.
I just got here because I went to the East softball game. I got here about a half hour ago. They won. So they're in the semifinals now. So. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And a swing and a miss. Piscopello comes up empty on that. 2 strikes. After stepping off, the drive towards the gap, ranging after it. It's going to drop in. Runners advancing now as Piscopello is going to be held up between first and second, and Cranston West has cost themselves a couple of runs here on these reads as they only got 1 run out of that. It looked like it was falling in all the way, but still 1 more across. It's now 8-5. 8-5 as
number 2, Ryan Zarella.
Bases remain loaded. A single that nearly got all the way down into the gap. Produces only 1 run. And what looked like was going to be a breezy inning for Alexandria has quickly gotten to a busy one on the base paths. And another 2-strike hitter here. Alexandria taking control of the bat early, but letting it go late. We'll see how he fares here against Zarella, who fouls that one off to stay alive, 0-2. Eight to 5, still just 1 out, and runners on every base. Nowhere to put them. Infield playing in here. Looks like everyone's going home as ball taken outside. It's 1-2. And missing outside again. It's 2-2. Alexandria trying not to work it full. That's grounded towards second. Oh, I don't know there. That could have been interference, but runners colliding with each other as the throw home. Not in time to make the play. It goes into right field and will end up a 2-run single, making it 10-5 now, and Cranston West continues to play just 1 step ahead of the Thunderbolts after leading or after trailing by 1-0 for the first half of this game. So runners on first and second after the single. And Alexandria back into the stretch. His second pitch will miss low. It's 1-1. Alexandria again now. Missing with that one. It's 2-1. And a swing and a miss there evens the count. 2-2. Brendan Smith at the plate. 2 strikes, 2 balls as he fouls one off, keeping it 2-2. The 2-2 count. As the pitch just missing outside, the count runs full again. It's 3-2. 3-2 count. This might be a huge pitch for Alexandria, and he gets the swing and a miss. 2 outs now in the top of the 6th inning. Still 3 runs across for Cranston West.
Alexandria is on deck.
And a first pitch swing from George Threats has popped up and will be brought in at shortstop by Ethan Torres to end the inning, but not after. Cranston West adds on 3 more runs, and they lead 10-5 as we approach the bottom of the 6th inning here on the Fans Only Sports Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network. It's 10-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cranston West adds 3 more.
Eddie McClung is on deck.
Eddie McClung on deck here. And new pitcher on for Cranston West, Adam Stoloff. Ethan Torres leading things off after replacing Anthony Pimentel earlier on. Torres will turn away from the first pitch, which misses inside for a ball. 1-0. Skip in for the second ball of Stoloff's day. running up high. It's 3-0. That ends Blanchette's day on the mound. He goes 2 1/3 with 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The 3-0 pitch is in for a strike. Blanchette came in with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd inning and got a big strikeout looking to strand them. And now down the line, Torres will have a ball rolling to the fence. He rounds first, heads for second. Throw in to the cutoff, and Torres is in with a stand-up double. Ethan Torres, after his first at-bat where he flew out to the right field, has a double down the left field line, and Cranston East offense up and running to start the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Eddie McClung. Taking on the newly inserted Stoloff. He swings at the first pitch, a light dribbler towards second base, hustling to first. He's in with a single. Torres able to advance to third on the play, and runners on the corners now. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th.
Fisher, Kelvin Santos is on deck.
Perfectly poorly hit ball. So runners on first and third, and Harrison Fisher up to the plate, batting in the 10 spot here, with both teams using an extra hitter tonight. The ball goes up inside, where it'll be taken 1-0. Fisher stepping in his first at bat to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. He grounded to second base, and here he'll pop it up where it's going to be too short for Torres to tag. And coming in from left field to make the play, it's put away by Piscapello for the first out in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Now batting for Cranston East, number 16, Kelvin Santos. Carlos Marejo is on deck.
The lineup flipping over now to Kelvin Santos. In 3 at-bats today, has reached safely twice. And his first at-bat, he lined out to shortstop. Last at-bat was a single, and in between that, he reached on an error by Alex Cesaretti at third base. So make him 1 for 3, but plenty of time spent on the bases. First and third still, with McClung leading off first, as Santos will ground it to third base. He needs to beat this out to score the run, and he's going to be out on the play, a double play, and Cranston East can't capitalize off the early trouble as the Falcons turn 2 to get out of the bottom of the 6th inning scot-free. It's going to stay 10-5, and Cranston East has just 1 at-bat to go if they want to make a comeback here on senior night. We'll be back with the top of the 7th inning in just a few moments. You're watching the Fans Only Sports Network. Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning here on the Fans Only Sports Network. John Devine taking over on the mound for these final 3 outs for Cranston West. And Cranston West, the last time they saw John Devine pitch, it was a no-hitter in an 11-0 win for Cranston East on the 17th of May. The Thunderbolts easily took down Cranston West in that one, and then followed it up on the 20th with a 6-1 win at home versus Cranston West. And here they're trailing against the Falcons. Beating the Falcons twice and now losing, or on the way to losing their 3rd meeting. And John Devine, of course, goes to Cranston West, plays for Cranston East. And in there quickly with strike 1 swinging against Alex Cesaretti. Devine pitched on the 22nd just 3 days ago. Went 6 innings against North Kingston. And got the win, got Cranston East back in the win column in the number 4 slot as they enter playoffs where they're facing North Kingston this Tuesday. Another team that they've beaten twice after beating them 5-0 in a shutout on the 10th of May, as that's fouled off into the backstop, 2-2. On the first game against North Kingston, that 5-0 win was a shutout, complete game shutout from John Devine. And he's likely the man they'll call on in just a couple days, or more than a couple, for the Tuesday night matchup, 4 p.m. at home versus North Kingston. Hope to see you there. If you can't be there, we'll try to get a live stream to you for that, as going up high, Alexandri, I believe, or no, excuse me, that's McClung, as he couldn't go up and bring it in, tipping off the glove and rolling into right field for a knock, as Alexandri comes from the mound over to shortstop. DeFusco still at 3rd. Morejo behind the plate. And after the first hit, Coach Bucci heads out to the mound and is going to take Devine out after 1 batter.
Catcher Carlos Parejo, and also exiting number 6, John Devine.
Devine and Morejo both exit at the same time here in the 7th inning after just 1 batter. And now we're going to have to take some time to warm up a new arm here. And we'll take a break. New pitcher coming in for the Thunderbolts with a runner on first. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. It's 10-5. Cranston West leads over the Thunderbolts here on senior night. We'll be back here live for these final moments in the 7th inning. Welcome back. Our top of the 7th resuming here with Ethan Torres taking over on the mound. Runner on first is Alex Cesaretti, and Jonathan Anton at the plate sees the first pitch in for a ball or a strike. Looked a bit outside from here. So 0-1 as the second pitch was going to be fouled off. 0-2 count as senior night winding down. Just one at bat left for each team. Torres is 0-2, missing outside. 1-2 count now. The 1-2 is going to be floated out towards the outfield, charging in for it and bringing it in for the out.
Now batting for Cranston West, number 7, Alex DiLorenzo. Kennedy
I don't know what just happened.
is on deck.
There we go. Don't know what happened there, but 0-1 with one out in the inning. Driven off the glove of Torres, who will pick it up and throw on to first for the second out. Runner advances to second on the play. Now 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. And Kennedy Arias up to the plate. Torres checks on Cesaretti before firing the pitch. It's going to be lined towards center field, hanging up just long enough for the Thunderbolts to get the 3rd out of the inning. Straining a runner at second, we'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The score is 10-5. Going to take a lot out of the Thunderbolts to bring this game back. 5-run deficit and 3 outs to go when we return. Welcome back to the Fans Only Sports Network, where Carlos Morejo is getting intentionally walked for the second time. It's a 5-run game with 3 outs to go, and they're going to walk Tolentino again. There's back-to-back times for these two seniors looking for their final at-bat before playoffs that they're going to have no chance to do so. That's 3 straight walks for the both of them.
Batting number 8, Tony DeFusco. Javen Alexandri is on deck.
So runners on first and second. The new pitcher in for Cranston West, Ruben Corderall, and Morejo and Tolentino only had 1 at-bat each where they actually had a chance to hit the ball. The first at-bat, they each got walked. The first at-bat, they were out, and then the second at-bat, both took actual walks, and now it's back-to-back intentional walks here in the bottom of the 7th as first pitch is going to be fouled back. So runners on first and second. Oh, and 2. The step off. DeFusco will have to wait a little longer. Another step off there. Now the 0-2 pitch is going to be swung on and fouled off. Thank you to everyone still with us here on the Fans Only Sports Network. A 5-run game with the 5-run game with 3 outs to go. The second chance at the 0-2 is going to be fouled off once again. So we'll do it again, 0-2. Again, new pitcher on is Ruben Corderall, a junior for Cranston West, relieving Stoloff. Pitch misses high. And Morejo looking to advance to third, and he'll be safe on the throw. Runners on first and third now as Morejo shows off the wheels there. Now with first and third, catcher Anton giving signs to his infield here as we'll see what Cranston East has in store. Last time Tolentino was in this spot, just got a free pass to second. Ball going to bounce in, and now Tolentino will advance, and he'll be in there for second and third. Now West has a base open, could put the double play in order, and it looks like they're going to stick with him at the plate. Just to reconfirm what we already knew, there was nothing about the intentional walk that was any strategy with it besides walking your senior on senior night. Very nice. And there's a drive out to left field. It's going to be over the head of the left fielder, and it's going to bring 2 runs home for the Thunderbolts. Rounding first and heading to second, Cranston East is in business in the bottom of the 7th inning with a bases clearing double and
Ladies
Just
and
3
gentlemen,
runs to
before we
go.
any further, I'd like to give a shout out to our Cranston East seniors, Javen Alexandri, John Devine, Carlos Marejo, Armani Pimentel, Joshua Pozo, Kelvin Santos, Erickson Serrano, Jaden Valentino. Gentlemen, thank you for a great year and good luck in the playoffs on Tuesday.
Cranston East will face North Kingston in a home game on Tuesday, win and move on to face the winner of Bishop Hendricken and Coventry, or lose in its double elimination. They'll have another home game back-to-back then. Missed outside on that. Alexandria at the plate. Runner on second. No outs yet in the bottom of the 7th. Cranston East trailing by 3 runs here. Alexandria will watch that pitch outside. Corderall fires again, and it's going to be a 4-pitch walk handed out to Javen Alexandri. Puts runners on first and second, still nobody out. Now a mound visit. The 2 runs scored that didn't even have to swing a bat, and that'll do it for Corderall. Let's up 2 runners after they were intentionally walked and brought in on the RBI double. And it brings in the new arm for Cranston West, Nick DiLorenzo, a sophomore. Looking to get the final 3 outs here. It's Tyler Chisholm batting on deck when DiLorenzo's all warmed up. We'll step aside here with runners on first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Welcome back in. It's 10-7. Cranston West has intentionally walked Marejo and Tolentino a total of 4 times, and they've scored 4 times. And that got this game still within Cranston East's reach. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and Tyler Chisholm up to the dish. Chisholm in his last at-bat had a triple that cleared the bases and drove in 3 runners. Now gets the first taste of Nick DiLorenzo as that's going to bounce off the glove of Jonathan Anton, roll to the backstop. Ball 1 and advances both runners into scoring position, first and third. Chisholm, the tying run at the plate. There's nobody out. Nick DiLorenzo with a passed ball to start his day on the mound as we look for just 3 more outs. Ball 2, again missing high. Once this game's all said and done, Cranston East looks forward to a Tuesday night matchup, 4 p.m. versus North Kingston. For Cranston West, this will be all she wrote on their season after being eliminated in the preliminary round of the playoffs, 7-1 at Coventry yesterday. Now DiLorenzo with the 2-1 pitch is going to be grounded to short. Taking a high bounce, fielded on the hop and thrown onto first for the out. In the meantime, a run scores on the play. It's going to be 10-8 with a runner left on third base.
Now batting for Cranston East, number 7.
So the first out of the inning. Runner on third. DiLorenzo looks in as Armani Pimentel steps into the right-hander's batter's box, the tying run. And DiLorenzo will step off here. Tying run at the plate, 1 away. Pimentel will watch that one as it goes in. Missing high for ball 1. And again, Pimentel will watch it. This one will find the zone for a strike. Armani on his day, 2 strikeouts in his last 2 at-bats, but started off with a double and an RBI that had Cranston East leading 1-0 in the early portion of this game. Pimentel now swinging through that one. He falls behind 1-2. There's 1 away. Runner 90 feet away at third base. Pimentel will watch another. Struck out looking in his last at-bat. DiLorenzo fires home another. That one just a bit outside. Nick DiLorenzo wanted it. Call the ball. It runs the count full. So, with a full count, DiLorenzo's payoff here will be taken and called strike 3. Another time for Pimentel to leave the bat on his shoulder. He'll head back with his 3rd strikeout of the game. And that leaves us with 1 out left on Cranston East Day, and it belongs to Ethan Torres. First pitch from DiLorenzo misses. And the worst miss on that gets it to 2-0. DiLorenzo sets and fires, missing high. 3-0 now. Waiting on deck is Eddie McClung. The 3-0 pitch will be outside, ball 4. McClung, a 4-pitch walk. Has runners on the corners now, and 2 outs to go. 2 outs left. What am I saying? 2 outs in the inning. As Mallow will take a walk out to the mound, and will we see a pitching change here with just 1 out to go? Just talking over, it seems, as oh my goodness, you're serious. We're getting a new pitcher here for wow. New pitcher coming on for Cranston West here. With 1 out to go.
Now entering the game and pitching for Cranston West, number 22, Michael Parks.
So we're going to have to take a quick break here to allow the new pitcher into the game, Michael Parks. Time to warm up. The junior will be on the bump for one more out when we return. Well, Cranston West bringing on a new arm for one more out. Or at least that's what he's assigned. We'll see if he can pull through with it as the first pitch will be fouled off to the backstop here. 0-1. 2 outs, runners on the corner. It's first and third. We'll see if Coach Bucci risks anything on the base paths. And a really hard pickoff move there. Full windup on that thing. I believe this is the 6th pitcher of the day for Cranston West, as falling behind 0-2. Senior night just one pitch away from being in the books. Park's 0-2 pitch is going to be taken just outside and called a ball. Cranston West couldn't beat the Thunderbolts in their home field. There were no hit by John Devine, and then over at Stadium a 6-1 loss. But here on senior night, looking to be just a strike away from taking home this matchup here. Ball fouled straight back to the backstop, keeps the game alive with a 2-2 count. Swung on and missed, and that will do it. Game ends on a strikeout swinging as Michael Parks enters for 1 out and gets it done on the first batter he faces. That brings us to our final score, 10-8. Cranston West took the lead and did not look back. After trailing 1-0, a big top of the 4th inning, followed up by big numbers in the 5th, 6th, to make this a 10-8 victory. The Falcons take home senior night after being walked off on last year and end their season in the win column on this non-league game. Cranston East looks forward to their playoff matchup on Tuesday here at home. Cranston Stadium, 4 p.m. They'll take on North Kingston after their win, and it will be hopefully live on the Fans Only Sports Network, but come out in person if you can. The winner will go on to face the winner of Bishop Hendricken versus Coventry. And should there be a loser's bracket, they'd be another home game for them as well. But that'll do it for our coverage of senior night baseball here on the Fans Only Sports Network. Falcons take it 10-8 after a back and forth and high scoring affair that The Falcons just appeared one step ahead once they took the lead in the fourth. We'll sign off here on the Fans Only Sports Network. On behalf of myself, Charlie Adams, have a great rest of your night. We hope to see you join us soon on the Fans Only Sports Network once again. Keep up with us on social media at FO Sports with a Z, FOSPORTZ, to make sure you're aware when we're streaming, what we're streaming, and you can keep up with us there. But until then, we'll say goodbye. Have a great rest of your night.